We are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello.
Hello,
I'm
hello, hello.
We're excited to be here. Before I officially welcome our guests for our virtual live happy hour, I'm
Mhm.
going to give a little instructions, kind of just to start a little bit, because usually people take a few minutes. Um, but if you are just joining us, be sure to click on the StreamYard link in the top of the email or top of the post so we can see your name so we know who's here. And I am so excited to have my friend Larry here. I'm so excited. Thank you, Larry, for coming.
How are you, darling?
I'm doing fantastic. I usually at least a minute or two, and then I get officially rolling. Um,
you're looking marvelous.
Thank you, Larry. Thank
See
you.
that? See that?
That's a legend saying that. Thank you, Larry. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Well, yeah, yeah. It's a great afternoon.
Yes, it is. As you just said, it's great to be seen. I said it's great to see you. It's always great to be seen.
You better know it, man. In the midst of all that we're going through right now.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Well, let me officially welcome songwriter, producer, businessman, former lead singer of the funk and R&B band, one of my favorites, the Bar-Kays, Mr. Larry Dodson. Yay!
Yay!
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for taking some time out and just joining us this afternoon, this Sunday afternoon. It's a great day to just kind of chill out and chat a little bit. So,
Absolutely. I just came in from outside with the kids are swimming, so I was out at poolside sleep. You really want to know the truth?
oh, wow. Okay, thanks,
It's such
Larry.
a beautiful afternoon. Beautiful afternoon.
It is. You
Yeah.
could have chatted with us from the
No,
poolside.
no, no, no. That's too much information.
Okay, well, that's fine. I would
Yeah,
have enjoyed it. We could have, did our toast out there. That would have been kind of cool.
absolutely, absolutely. It was quite innocent. The kids just swimming, and my wife was outside. So
Very good.
it's so nice today.
And you are in Tennessee, correct?
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. That's correct.
And what's the weather like? Hot? Is it hot?
It's about 85 now. It was 90 earlier, but it's
Oh,
about 85 now, and it's not really, really muggy. It's got a breeze blowing today, so it's a good day to be outside barbecuing or it's at the pool or just
yes.
whatever. Yeah,
Makes for a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
absolutely. Had
Yes.
some, had some good church service this morning.
Yes, very good. Are you still virtual or are
Well,
you?
you know what? We tried something different. We were on the parking lot of our church in our cars,
Oh,
and our pastor was outside with the microphone. Our praise team was out singing, so it was very cool. This was the first
nice.
time, first for us. We hadn't been to church in 80 days. We hadn't been in.
Yes.
We've been
Yes.
doing as we're told to do, social distancing and
Yes.
all,
We're going to talk
all
about,
to keep us safe. Yeah.
well, I'm glad. I'm glad you were able to meet in the parking lot. That sounds nice, actually. It's the weather cooperated, so that's good.
Oh, it was
And
great.
and we're going to talk about doing what you're supposed to do in a little bit. But anyway,
Absolutely.
let's start from the beginning. I always like to do
Yeah.
that because often
Mhm.
people don't know how all this came about. And you've been in this business a very long time. Can you take us way back? I think
Okay.
47, 48, 50, a long
Yeah,
time.
well, yeah, the Barcays are actually celebrating 55 years in show business, but I retired a couple of years ago after 48 years.
Woo.
Yeah, the only singer the band ever had, the
Yes.
writer producer, and just kind of wore a lot of hats in the band. And you know what? I retired for no reason other than I've been fortunate to be married. I've been married 50 years.
Oh,
This
wow. What a
year, yeah.
blessing.
So we were just kind of both retire together, and while
Mhm.
we still had some logs to throw in the fire, so to speak, and
Yeah.
and just kind of enjoy life. I've had a very good career, but it just was a bad idea, Tanya. It was just a bad idea, and everybody knew with me. Everybody told me, you'll last a year or 6 months, a year and a half, and they were
Ooh.
about right. So after
Oh,
again,
wow.
it turned into an itch I just couldn't scratch. So I'm back entertaining now, and after getting spending 7 or 8 months to get somebody to take my place in the band, I didn't bother him. I just decided to do something that I had not done, which was to pursue a solo career, and it's been great. It's been
Wonderful.
it's been great.
You just went to the middle of the interview, or and so,
Well, okay, I'm
um,
sorry I jumped ahead, didn't I? Yeah,
but it's okay. However you
it's
want to do
okay.
it. I
Yeah.
because we were going to talk about that. So I'm glad everybody knows
Absolutely.
now what's going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But can you tell us, and let me just say this to people that are joining us, let us know you're here. Say hi to Larry. Let us know you're here, where you're from. Hey, Keith. Keith is here.
All
And
right.
anyone else, just let us know you're here and say hi to him. If you have questions, please post them, and I would be happy to give them to Larry, and he can answer for you. So
Absolutely.
Eric Haley is here. So Larry, we're going to back up from the retirement and the solo career, and I'm going to ask you more about the solo career a little later.
Sure,
But
sure.
how did this actually start? How did you know you wanted to sing? Where did that come from? Way back when?
Yeah, you just said it way back when. It's kind of always been in my blood and my soul. I started a group a doo-wop group when I was in high school called the Temprees. And that, for those of you who may or may not know, the Temprees went on to make a lot of really, really great songs, man. Dedicated to the one I love Maze. They had a really good career at Stax Records, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
But and when before I joined the Barcades, we had not done anything professionally with the Temprees. Their professional career started after I left, and joined the band in 1970. I joined the Barcades as the only singer they've ever had. The Barcades were an instrumental group, which were very fortunate. Their very first record was a million seller. It was called Soul Finger.
I remember.
So, music has been in my blood. I grew up around it. It's just been something inside of me, as most singers and musicians say.
And who were your influences that made you want to sing? Who influenced you?
Oh, man, I was absolutely in love with Ray Charles, Stevie. I grew up around a lot of jazz. My dad was a jazz fanatic. So I grew up in the house with Sarah Vaughan, Count Basie, Ray Charles. Ray Charles was just one of my all-time favorites. I just loved what was coming out of his throat, out of his mouth every time he opened it. And then since then, Stevie and my funk guys, Sly Stone, so those have been the guys that kind of influenced my career,
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. That's Ray Charles. I mean, just right. That's all you have to say. Legend.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's the guy you all only have to say Ray, and they know.
That's right, and it's a wrap.
That's right.
All you have to say.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to skip around a little bit. Good evening, everyone who's joining us. Make sure you click on StreamYard so I can see your name, so we can address you by name. Everyone's saying good afternoon.
Let us know where you're calling from, too. Let us know where you're chiming in from.
Yes, please do. Put your city there.
Absolutely.
I know. Got someone from Vegas here. That's Keith, and Tina's in Atlanta. Hi, Tina. Eric,
two of my favorite cities, Las Vegas and Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes. Well, we want to see you soon, I hope, in the Atlanta area. We'll talk about that later. Say that to the end, too.
Okay.
You mentioned something just a few minutes ago that I wanted to touch on. Not too many people can say they've been married as long as you've been married. Can you tell us what's the secret ingredient to that?
Do as you're told. For all you guys out there want to know how to stay married for
you call my husband Sean.
Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am.
I love it.
No, seriously, it's about give and take. I've just been very fortunate to have gotten it right the first time, and my wife is the glue. I have to give it. I take no undue cause for this. She is just absolutely adorable, and when you've been married this long, you go through phases. You go through newlywed, being married for a few years, then your wife turns into be your best friend, and then if you're in business, then your business partners, then you fall in love again, and then it's on and on. It's on and on. It's been great, man. I mean, I just couldn't have been blessed more.
Oh, that is so wonderful. That sounds like quite the love story. You might have another book in that. I don't know how much to talk about it in this book.
Absolutely.
That is wonderful. I have to just recognize that. In July, it'll be 20 years for me. And that's a long time too.
Oh, you better know it. You better know it. Something interesting. So my son shares my same name, Larry Dodson.
Yes.
And he got married on the same day that I did.
He told me that. That's pretty cool.
Right. So we celebrate our anniversaries together, which is cool. It's very cool.
It sounds like a very close-knit family too, which I already know it is. But Yeah, and I have to shouts out to your wife because I got to talk to her a little bit on the Tom Joyner cruise and hang out with
Mm.
your son a little bit, and they're just wonderful people. You have a wonderful family. I can say that because
I'm truly, truly blessed. Larry's wife choreographs our show, and she's a
yes,
dancer in the show, and she's just something else, man.
yes, and I hear somebody in the background over there.
Oh, that's my granddaughter. Yeah, that's Larry's daughter, who is 10 going on. I mean, 9 going on 19. I mean, she's just incredible. Straight A student. I had to get her an agent because she's going to be an actress. So she has
Oh,
something already. Yeah, absolutely.
wonderful.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
we look to hear good things about her soon too. The legacy will
absolutely.
continue in the next generation. So I just had to shout out for the marriage thing because not too many people could say that. So congratulations early. I know it'll be is it in August?
August 21st.
Okay, so congratulations early on the 50th.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I am in an elite group. Yeah,
Oh
the,
yeah,
the 50-year group, the 50-year club. It is an elite group.
and the first wife is the
Yeah,
first.
first and only. Yeah,
That's right, and
absolutely.
only, yes. So we gotta
Absolutely.
make sure we say that people know it's the first
Come
and
on,
only
come on
wife.
now. You better know it. I don't get
Yeah,
off. I don't want to be on that couch tonight.
absolutely. So people are congratulating you on that.
Thank you so much, guys.
What have you been doing since COVID-19? I want to just talk about that for a minute because I started this because everybody's in the house.
Mhm.
And this provides, in some way, I hope to bless people with either entertainment or just being able to see their favorite fans, something to do. I mean, their favorite artists, the fans seeing their favorite artists and interacting. So tell us what you've been doing during this time frame.
Well, actually, I've been making the best of a bad situation. I'm working on new music, and God's just put it in my spirit to be still, and listen to Him. And that's what I would like to share to everybody. He has a way, nothing is new to Him, nothing's new to God. We'll get through this, but it is a way of getting His attention, or for Him to get our attention. Um, for a lot
Yes.
of different reasons, and you've got to understand there's always, when in my life, it's always faith before fear. So I'm not worried about anything. I'm concerned in making sure that we do all the things to keep my family healthy and my friends healthy. But I'm just taking this time to just stay in touch with the Lord.
Amen to that. Well, thank you for
Mhm.
that. People take that uh, and listen to it and take heed
Absolutely.
because it truly is true. I found it true as well. A lot of things
Mhm.
happen during this time when we sit still and listen to what he has to say.
Absolutely.
Keith is asking, what is your opinion of music today?
Um, to be quite honest with you, being in the business for as long as I have been, and coming from Stax Records with the likes of Isaac Hayes and Otis Redding and Johnny Taylor and a host of others, I'm Sam and Dave. I miss some of these songs, um, the quality of songs that were there in the 70s and 80s, and even in the 60s. I think some of the stuff now is rather shallow,
Mm,
and not all of it. I mean, I don't want to be a critic of it. There's some very good entertainers out there now, some young kids that are doing quite well, but as a whole, I just miss that deep, those lyrics that I say cut like a knife, and they take you somewhere that is a very pleasant place in your mind. And I don't blame it on just the artists. I kind of blame it on the record labels. They're too busy with the flavor of the day artists. Back
yeah.
when we started, people were really the record labels were really concerned with your career, and not just even if you didn't have a record that was even if you didn't have a record that was hot right then,
Hmm.
um, they would say, "Don't worry about it. We have faith in you and what you do. That's why we signed you." These days, the minute that you don't have a hit record, you're gone, partner. I don't care who you are. It's gotten to a flavor of the day kind of a business, and I just don't like that.
Flavor of the day.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good way of putting it. I just changed our view here.
it's okay.
Okay. Um,
You can see my gold records now.
yeah, that's why I did that. I did it back there. Yes. Let's show them off while we
Come
can.
on, come on. I see that. I wasn't gonna go there, but since you got a wider view,
That's right.
I'm in my
I
office.
got
Yeah,
to hit the
yeah.
button. I'm sorry. You got to show them off when people see that. Yes, you do have gold and platinum status. Yes,
Absolutely.
you are. We got to make sure we tell people that. Some people don't know about that stuff. Uh, Keith says, I'm a songwriter. What advice would you give me and others about the craft of songwriting?
You want to write the songs from the heart, and you want to write songs that can stand the test of time. I know that's a lot to say about writing, but songs that stand the test of time will give you generational wealth. And what I mean by that
I
is
like that.
not just for you, but for your kids. We make money now for songs we did 30 years ago because they were not that we're such a fantastic group or we're so fantastic, such fantastic writers, but we were fortunate to make some records that people have sampled that have been in movies, and that's what happens when you pick that pen up and you do the right thing with it, man. Not
Mhm.
every song is gonna be like that though. I love John Legend. I think John Legend is just an incredible songwriter right now,
Mhm.
at the top of his game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who's on your playlist right now, Larry? Who are you listening to if you had to choose?
See, surprisingly, you know what people don't. This some people probably don't even know about me. I listen to gospel music a lot. And when I'm in my office, I listen to classical music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I listen to the radio. I keep up with these kids, man. And basically the top 10 records are basically records that I like.
Okay.
Really to be honest with you, yeah. In all genres, urban, pop, you know, those are the best records. And when I say top 10, because usually those are the best records that I have.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so are there any current artists you like to work with?
That I like to work with.
Mhm.
Well, I tell you, I've been to the mountaintop because I had a chance to spend 1 month with Sly Stone. We wrote together.
Oh, wow.
And he was like my mentor. I mean, and when I say I adored Sly. I mean, everything about Sly and the Family Stone was just so far ahead of its time.
Mhm.
And then in comparison, the Barcades were quite like that as well. When I joined the band and we began to sing, our dress, our style of music was just way,
Mhm.
way, way ahead. And I can say that now. And I didn't realize it when we were doing it, but we were doing stuff, and our stage show was just really, really, really cool, full of surprises. If anybody's ever seen the Barcades, we had bombs and fire, and I used the sneak in the act, and it was always something very, very weird going on stage with the Barcades. And even when we didn't have a hit record, so to speak, and we've had 20 top 10 records, man. We've
Yes.
had a fruitful career. People love to come see the show. Because they knew it was going to be just full of surprises, as well as a great evening of music.
Absolutely. Now, tell us about that snake, Larry. I've seen pictures. I haven't. When I saw you, you didn't have a snake. So tell
Nothing occult. Nothing occult. It was purely by accident that I ever started using them. I used to raise them, and we used to take them on the road and put them on the bus and watch them eat. And one day in Nashville, Tennessee, I said, you know what? I wonder what would happen if I brought this snake out on stage. So in the last 5 minutes of the show, I did. I brought him out. He was about 8 feet. He was my personal snake. And man, the crowd went wild, and the word got out that Alice Cooper wasn't only somebody that wasn't on the lead singer that was dealing with a snake. And from that point on, I had to have them every time I performed. People were just so intrigued by it, and
Yeah.
but I only used them in the last few minutes of the show. It's nothing weird or anything about it. But it's a lot of. It was. I've had about 30. They die and people get out and get loose and different things happen. Because I always use large snakes.
Okay,
So
Larry. Wait a minute.
it's
You said
show business, man. It's show business.
okay. You said you've had 30 snakes. Is that what you just
I've
said?
had, I've had over the years,
30 snakes.
I think the most I've ever had at one time is 5.
You've had
Yeah.
5 at one time, but over the years you've had about 30. I mean, those
Oh
numbers.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because when things happen to them, I'll have to go get another one because I have to have them on stage. I mean, people just
Oh, yeah,
it got to be a really big thing. Yeah, yeah.
wow. Okay. How does Snake feel about that? You-
Well, different ones feel different ways. One thing about I use boas at first, then I started using pythons, Burmese pythons, and as I say, I've always used real large snakes. So you have to be very careful. You can't let the snake rule. You got to make sure that he knows you're not afraid. Because they can hurt you. I've had some accidents. I've been bitten twice, and I've had some close calls, but overall, most of the time, and I mean, I would put the snake head in my mouth. It
Oh,
got to be
Larry.
really strange, really
Okay.
strange.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was show business. It was show business, though. Yeah.
It definitely is show business. Okay. Do
Oh, it
you have
still
a
is.
Do you have a snake
I
now?
No, you know what? My trainer is looking for me one that's between 8 and 10 feet. I've just turned the one she brought to me and showed me pictures of it. They weren't long enough, so by the
Wow.
time showtime, I'll have one that'll be 7, 8, 10 feet. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna move on from the snake. I just had to see the info on that. I
That's
was curious.
always a weird subject. Yeah.
So, what is your favorite song to perform, Larry? What is your favorite? Or
Oh
and I'm
my
gonna say
goodness.
favorite with Marquez.
It's a toss up between Holy Ghost and anticipation. Holy
Okay.
Ghost on the up tempo and anticipation. And these are showstoppers. And like I said, we've had 20 top 10 records, so
I know,
our
but
repertoire is really really cool. We can play 2 hours
yes, you can.
and play nothing but hits, man. We've been really fortunate in that era.
Yes, you have a lot of songs.
And
Tell me about
we've had 30 albums.
that's a lot of music.
Our
That's
music.
thank you for that catalog.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Now, let's go on. I was going to ask you. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Something about the Holy Ghost, not the Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. How did that song come about? That's one of my favorites, and I posted on the Fans of Unsung page. I have wonderful memories of the skating rink and that song. So I want you to tell us how did that come about, and was
we
there any issues?
we did that song in 1975, and we had to shelf it because we live in the Bible Belt, and when the word got out that we had a song called Holy Ghost, the Bible community and the religious community said, "Oh no, 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 you guys can't do that." And we actually got a little scared to release the record, but fortunately, a few years later, we released a record called Shine, which was like at that time, I think it was like number 5 on the chart. And the company that had bought Holy Ghost, the catalog with Holy Ghost on it, they released
Hmm.
Holy Ghost at that same time, and it went through the roof. So we had 2 records out. They were both number 2 and number 3 records. But it was some years later because we really got nervous about it because they were, at that time they were on Prince real bad about his music, and we just felt it wasn't a good career move. But it to this day, it's been one of our biggest records. In fact, at one point, Holy Ghost was one of the most sampled records in
Mm,
music.
yes,
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. But I knew there was some controversy. That's why I wanted to mention it with
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was the year again it came out? What was it released?
It came out in let me see, it must have been 78 because we
Okay.
recorded in 75 and we didn't release it then.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
And if it had it been up to you all, it probably would have not been released. You think
We had a big lump in our throat. I tell you that. We would have eventually done it, but
later on?
it ended up being really really cool because as I said, Stax went out of business, and the company that bought the catalog had Holy Ghost in it, and they released it because they were just trying to wait till we got hot so they could release some of the stuff they had in the can, and it just turned out to be just a great record for us. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. And I see the post, but a lot of people are saying they still love Holy Ghost. Holy
Oh
Ghost is
yeah, it's a showstopper. It's a
oh yeah.
showstopper.
Absolutely. And until you said it, now that you mentioned Sly, I can see where there was some influence there, based on what you just said. And I think about it, seeing you all perform, or in the old footage of back in the day,
Yeah,
there's a lot
yeah.
of influence of Sly. Now that you mentioned that, let's talk about. Well, we talked about your favorite artist. We talked about
Mhm.
you might want to work with. Is there anything else music wise that you want to touch on? I don't want to, before I move into a
Well,
little.
as I said, I'm working on new music. My single will drop this fall, probably in September, October. We're negotiating now with I'm choosing between two labels.
Okay,
Um, and I wish I could tell you more about the record, but I don't want to just let it go right
okay.
now.
You'll just have to come back when it's out, and we'll talk about it then.
Absolutely,
You
absolutely
can share
right,
it with
absolutely
everybody.
right. Yeah, but yeah, things are doing well. I'm taking I'm taking this time and making sure that my album is going to be good, and we're working on the videos and planning the tour for next year when things
Wonderful.
calm down a little bit. So
Yeah.
as I said, I'm just really making the best of this situation.
Now, have you performed solo already? Have
I
you
have.
already?
Yep. I started a year ago. My first solo performance was on the Tom Joyner cruise with Janet Jackson, Charlie Wilson, Maxwell. It was a star-studded cast. That
Hmm.
was my first. That was my debut as. I travel now as Larry D, formerly singer of the Barcades, with a new band, new show, and it's great. So I've been out for a while. Yeah.
So, Larry, what was that like going on stage without the Barcades the first time? What was that feeling as a solo artist?
Different, different. One of my dear friends, Charlie Wilson, I've been talking to him a lot since I made the decision to come out of retirement and pursue a solo career. And he's been helping me because his first performance as a solo artist was in Memphis, Tennessee. And I remember him telling me how nervous he was. I wasn't that nervous, but it was quite different. My band was good, but I spent 47 years at center
Right.
stage with the Barcade, so I'm looking around, and but fortunately, I have a great band, and 85 or 90% of the show that I do is my Barcade music, because people they just want to
Of
hear it.
course.
Yep, yep. So I have some great singers, so I let my background singers do some other stuff in the show, but it's very, very cool. It's very, very cool.
Well, I look forward to seeing it, and you just let me know when you're coming this way, or perhaps I have to come that way one day.
I'll
And
be everywhere. Hmm.
yes, and we got to let the fans of Unsung know so they know where they can catch you as well.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about this. I was waiting to hold this up. Let's talk about this little book right here that I got. Unsung Tears. Look what I have. It's called
Well,
If the Band Plays On, and it's Larry's life story.
absolutely. My son inspired me to write that book. I had never written anything, man, and he and I would share at the table in the mornings, and what we would plan the day, the week, the month out. Because my son has my day-to-day stuff, and I would
Mm,
just tell him stories, old war stories about what things that went on in the band. And he said, "Pops, you need to write a book. These stories."
yeah.
So I started to keep my notes, and actually, as I said, I had never written a book before, but it was very therapeutic for me. Some of the stuff that's in that book, I had never said to anybody. I mean,
Mm,
I really shared, and I didn't bring a lot of other people's garbage in. This is all about my life.
okay.
Post before I joined the band, even started back to my home life, and once you read this book, you really know me, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I had some peaks and valleys, in the career. It's probably every entertainer does.
Right. Well, you had to for that length of time. I mean,
Well, yeah, absolutely. And even though it covers a lot of years, it's an easy read. I didn't want to make the book too long. And people always tell me, I can't keep the book. People say when they pick it up, they can't put it down. Because I tell you something that happened. My editor, Sheila Bell, when I first started giving her the notes, she said, "You know what?" She said, "I don't need to do anything to this." She said, "You're incredible. You know, you're a born writer. I'm just gonna name the chapters and write everything that you said down, just as you did." And so I found myself a new career, and I didn't know I would enjoy writing. I'm on my second book now, which is called
Oh,
Keep Looking Up When It's Down. My wife is co-writing it with me. Our daughter is her name is Precious. She's born Down syndrome.
yes.
So the book is called Keep Looking Up When It's Down. It's all about our journey raising a Down syndrome child, which was our first kid. It's so therapeutic, and it's a success story because my daughter has done very, very well. She's
Yeah.
worked all of her life. She's overcome all of the physical and emotional and mental challenges
Hmm.
that was in front of her. So it's going to be very helpful to not just
Yeah.
people who have Down syndrome kids, but people who have mentally challenged kids. Period.
Right.
It was our first kid. I was
Wow.
19 years old, so we didn't even know anything about Down syndrome. So we were just swept off our feet, and we had to understand, the whole journey. But it's been wonderful. It's
Oh,
really
that's gonna
wonderful.
bless a lot of people,
It's
Larry.
gonna bless a lot of people. I probably can't wait for us to finish it.
And I'm so glad you're doing that book because I think people have this idea in their head about celebrities and music artists that everything is always so perfect and they have everything they want and need because they're on stage and they're performing for us and they have money and all of that. And they don't think about the things going on. They don't think things are going on because it's not a reality to the outside people looking in because you're just on stage to a lot of people performing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they don't think about the life stuff that's still going on in the lives of our music artists like this. No one would have ever thought that you had a child with Down syndrome. They just wouldn't
And you
think that.
raise an interesting point because that's really how a lot of parents, sometimes just out of not knowing, sometimes out of being ashamed, they have these kids and they lock them up in the room or they don't let them reach the full maturity of what they can do. But when you read our book, you're going to find out that, God has a way of sometimes getting you out of the spotlight and
Mm,
putting something much more important in front. And understand now, I joined the band in 1970, and my daughter Precious was born in 71. So we've been dealing with this throughout my entire career.
yes. I was going to ask you, how old were you? 19 or 18,
I was
19?
19, yeah, yeah. But
That
as I
is
say, we
wonderful.
didn't know anything about Down syndrome. We had to learn, and fortunately, we were able to put her in the best schools and facilities. She was able to graduate from school in a
Wonderful.
very special setting, but it's, as I said, it's a success story, and it's so therapeutic for
Hmm.
when you read this book. It's uplifting, and it's gonna make
I
a lot
can't
of
wait.
parents say, "Oh my God, I, I never looked at our kid like this."
Right. That
Hmm.
is wonderful. That I can't wait. When is that one
We're
slated to be?
gonna we're gonna finish it this year.
Okay.
It'll be
But
the
in
end
the
of the
meantime, y'all,
That's a juicy book. That's a juicy book. That's all I
we
can
gotta
say.
we
Juicy,
gotta
juicy, juicy.
absolutely we gotta support our artists. So can you give us a little something? Tell us a little something that's in here, a little scoop to
Well,
tease.
I tell you, as I said, I was very candid in my when I started giving my notes to my editor, she said, "No, Larry, if you're gonna tell this book, if you're gonna tell your story, tell everything." So I talked about my drug addiction. I talked about money, relationships. There was nothing I didn't share in that book. And she said something that was very interesting. She said, "Don't be ashamed of it because God got you through it, and therefore it becomes ministry." Because some people gonna
There
pick
you
this
go.
up and say, "If he got through all of that and
Right.
still came out on top, I know I can."
That's right. That's
So
right.
I shared a lot of stuff, and it's a wonderful book because a lot of wonderful things have happened to me and this band. We've made a lot of history. Yeah,
Well, I can't wait to read it. And you can get an autographed copy from this must be Larry posting this www.lamarieEntertainmentComplex.com. And
absolutely. Yeah.
it's in the feed, everyone, if you want to know where to get it. It's in
Amazon, yeah, anywhere good books are
oh,
sold. Yeah.
the website is on there. But yes, and
Mhm.
I'll put it in afterwards on the site on our page as well, so people know where they can order it from. And what's the cost? The cost of the book?
It's $25.
Okay, so
Yeah.
$25, guys.
Mhm.
Great book. And I might add one lucky person that's here today is going to get a free copy as a giveaway. Larry is kind enough to give one away, and we'll let you know who that is. I'll probably post it tomorrow, who that lucky person is.
Absolutely. Yeah, we come up with a trivia question or something
Yeah, we'll
and
let
give it to some deserving person.
Yes. So thank you so much for that. Now, getting down to we're gonna talk about your other business venture that I have. I don't know if people notice behind me. Oh, this way, over here. This.
You got some of my whiskey back there.
Yes, it's
Ah, yeah.
an autograph bottle.
Oh my God, absolutely. That's just
Thank
a great, it's one of my endeavors, business endeavors that I'm so proud of. 2 years ago, I met these two African American guys who were on the ground floor of this incredible whiskey. It's called Guidance. They
you.
needed a celebrity face, and they thought that I was a perfect fit, and we got in bed together, and it has been incredible. This is a great whiskey, and I really wasn't a whiskey drinker by choice. I was a champagne guy,
Okay.
but I was knocked out because it was so smooth, and it was a first class liquor, and I've been represented, and we can't keep the liquor. It's called Guidance. It's a black owned business. And
Wonderful.
yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And as I said, I wouldn't be dealing with it if I didn't think it was a great whiskey. It is
And I
absolutely.
believe that. And you are first class, Larry. So I know this is
Thank you.
if you are involved with it. So where can people get this from if they're
If it's not in your store in your because as I said, we got on the ground floor of it 2 years ago, so we're making our way across the nation. But you can go to www.guidancewhiskey.com and just order your bottle. If it's not in your city, yeah.
so it is in some
Oh
liquor.
yeah, yeah. Tennessee, Georgia, Arizona. We're making our way to California, so we're going state by state, but every city that we're in is just doing incredibly well.
Okay. So we're going to make sure we post that periodically on the Fans of Unsung as well. Those of you that are whiskey drinkers, or you just want to support Larry, or you know someone that's a whiskey drinker, it always can be a gift. You can get it and mail it and ship it, or you put a bow on it, whatever you want.
Absolutely, absolutely. And women love it, man. And that's strange because women, by just by nature, aren't really whiskey drinkers, but it's because it's so smooth, they love it. They absolutely love it.
Well, I'm looking forward to that as well. So I appreciate my autograph bottle. Thank
Yep, 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 yep. You got one of the first bottles.
you. Oh, I feel so special. Thank you. So I wanted, and that's also in the comments. I think they're at www.guidancewhiskey.com. That's where you
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
has questions about it, post them because Larry can come back and look at these questions and answer. And I need to ask you this. Let me digress from this for a moment. I just want to talk about the state that we're in now because we'll probably be closing here in just a minute.
Sure.
But there's a lot going on in our country. I'm in Atlanta and we had our riots here. A lot of going on. Can you speak to that, how you feel about that, and the importance of us, speaking about it or doing what we need to do, but in a peaceful way?
Well, I tell you, it is so unfortunate the circumstances of the death of that young man. But what's even more disturbing is the state of affairs racially that has just culminated and has come to a head. Something as Black people, I think we're just up to here with it now. You know what I'm saying? And it's being dealt with. Um, it's being dealt with in the streets, and people they're angry and they want justice, and I feel the same way. I don't agree with some of the antics that are going on out there, robbing and stealing and stuff, but that's not our people. I think we as Black folks We want justice and we want peaceful protesting, but there's some other folks out there that's getting in the mix that's giving this whole thing a bad name. But they're gonna have to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to fix this, and it is not for us as black people to fix it. Our white folks got to fix this one. You know, they got to come to grips with this because we've had enough.
Yes.
It's going to get worse if these other three guys don't get indicted. It's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. As far as our president, he's a drunk driver to me. I mean,
Ooh.
he's just a drunk driver. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. That was a nice way of putting it, actually. And he has not.
He's got a beautiful car, but he's a drunk driver.
Okay. And he's not drinking guidance whiskey either.
He ain't drinking. I don't know what he's drinking. He's drinking that, or what bowl he's eating out of either. You know, it's just I miss Obama. I miss
Oh,
I miss
yes.
the real president. You know, I miss the real presidential guy being in the office. And I just pray to God that and this virus is we're in some terrible times right now. We're in some challenging times, and I would just admonish that our people, especially our black folks, man, got to understand that it's killing us 2 to 1. It's affecting us more than it is anybody else. We got some challenges out there, and we need to be still and listen to God, what God is saying to us.
Yes.
As I said earlier, nothing is new to Him. Nothing new to God. We've been through some terrible things, and we'll get through this. But this has got to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
This we can't smooth over this one. You can't gloss over this one. This one's got to be fixed.
Very good.
It's got to be done.
I like how you put that. Thank you for that. Before we end, one more thing I didn't get to touch on, and I wanted to ask you about. You're involved with a college, I guess, in Memphis, where you have a scholarship.
Absolutely. My son and I, my entire family, we are very much in HBCUs, and we have a scholarship foundation here that is in total support of a great HBCU college here, Lemoyne Owen College.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last 12 years, we have sent between 1 and 3 kids to school every year. We have over $300,000 in the fund, and it's been so rewarding for us to see kids who are particularly not able to go or not able to stay in college. We've helped them. And I was so honored, man. I recently received an honorary doctorate from Lemoyne Owen College. I am now Dr. Larry Dodson.
Oh, well, Dr. Dodson, congratulations on that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that one ranks way high on the accolades that I've been involved in. And we've been inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame and the Memphis Music Hall of Fame, and our garments in the Smithsonian. But when I received that, it was just epic for me. And I didn't know it, And I next month I'll have a ceremony where they name the street after me here in Memphis, Tennessee. And I wish I had no idea that was going to happen either way. So it's always nice to be honored by your peers.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on all of those. Well deserved.
Thank you.
We appreciate you stopping by. There was a question or a comment I wanted to read to you. Shirley says she's getting the whiskey and the book. So
thank you so much, darling.
Tina says she was commenting on what we were talking about, the state of America, I guess I should say. I'm sure there were lots of injustice experiences during your road performances.
Dr. King was killed here in Memphis, Tennessee, and during those times, we were in the studio recording. And for those of you who may not know, the Barcades have always been an interracial group. Even before I joined, there was always a white guy in the band, and I would really say this truthfully. We ain't never been hung up on race, nor was the record label that we were on. There were just a lot of interracial groups at Stax Records, and we got along fine. But I remember during the time that Dr. King was killed and the riots were going on, we were locked in and we couldn't go. We couldn't go out of the studio, but inside of the studio, it was so much different from what was going on outside, you know.
Okay.
And I'm very thankful that we, the Barcades, have had that outlook about race. You know, it was just never a big deal to us, you know. Of course, we're not crazy. You know, we know there have been racial issues going on since the very beginning. You know, this ain't our land. You know, but we just got to be careful now, and we've got to be still and keep God first. You know, I always have a saying is it's hard to get tripped up if you stay on your knees.
Oh, I had to write that down, Larry. I am. I like that.
Yeah, that's one of my mottos. You know, so I'm down on my knees. You know, about everything. You know, my pastor he prays for a parking place. So I ain't no prayer too big or too small for God. You know, and
Amen.
we need him now. We need him now more than ever for many different reasons.
Absolutely. That was wonderful. Thank you for saying that and sharing that. I got a lot of good stuff from you, Larry. I'm gonna go back and write down. Is there anything else that you want to say before we toast to you? Is there anything else you want to share or say? We talked about it. We tell everybody, please support, get the whiskey, get the book. Was there anything else you want to leave us with?
Just know that Larry D has new music coming out this fall, and for next year my album will be out. I'll be touring. I'll be in I guarantee I'll be in your city when it gets safe
Yes.
to be
Yes.
there. You know, and things will get back to normal. I can't say when, but you know, we're gonna be safe. We're gonna be careful, and now we're gonna be doing some virtual things until then. You know, so I'll be around, man. I'll be around, and I'll continue to be a good reason for you to listen to me.
All right. I believe that too.
Mm-hmm.
Look forward to the new music. I'm excited about that. But you stay busy. You do a lot of things. So we may see you for a book.
We have a booking agency, La Marie's Entertainment. We've had this agency since it's a family business since 1999. We book everybody. It's a very big agency, and I own tours of my own. And the Masters of Funk tour is one that I particularly like because
Love it.
It's the Ohio Players, it's the Barcades, Function Brick, all of the funk bands. We go out on tour together. So, and I own that tour. So I stay busy, you know.
And I've seen that tour. It's good, y'all. Y'all need to
You've
see it.
seen it, so you know what I'm saying, don't you? Right?
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. It's one of the most intriguing things I've ever done, you know. So I'll continue to be a factor in music. You know, I still produce, and I don't write as much as I used to, but I enjoy being in the studio with younger artists and younger producers because they're objective, you know, and you know, they call me, I'm Uncle Larry right now, so, and that's cool, you know, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, you know. So I just look forward to things getting better.
Yes.
And we as Black people, all we got to remember, all we got is us. All
Yes.
we got is us.
That sounds like a words from a wise person.
I appreciate you allowing me to have this time. I enjoy you have a very beautiful nature, and I look forward to doing it again. And
absolutely, we'll have you back. You know, you're coming back. I like my friends. All my friends. You just got to come back because I feel like I'm just talking to a friend.
Whatever.
So, but I want to toast to you. I don't know if you have your toast ready. We're going to toast to you.
Okay.
So, you ready? Okay. So whatever you got. Here's to you, Larry, for joining us. Here's to us. And we hope
you're drinking first class because you got guidance in your glass.
Is that the motto, or you just?
Oh yeah. I'm the captain. That's what they call it for guys. I'm the captain. Captain. Okay.
Well, we are drinking first class because we have guidance in our glass. I like that. You got a lot. I'm not gonna write that one down, but okay. Larry, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best in everything you're doing in the future. Godspeed to you and blessings abundantly to you. And come back and see us soon.
I share. Whatever, whenever. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Larry.
Be
We'll see
well.
you
Be
soon.
well.